Most farms in the dairy industry cannot find American-born workers to milk the cows and take care of them. The only ones willing to do this hard work are Latino immigrants who, if we didn't have them for 8 hours, there would be a crisis across the country in our industry. What is the short-term solution to keep our current labor force intact, and what is the long-term solution moving forward?
Right. Well, thank you for sharing your experience as a dairy farmer. And you know, there are farmers across this country who are really hurting. And farmers are hurting from a lot of things. They're hurting from a federal government whose policies have been making it harder and harder for farmers to survive. They're hurting from an EPA who is imposing massive burdens on farms. For example, the Waters of the United States rule, where the EPA is trying to define a puddle or a drainage ditch on your farm to be navigable waters and thus subject to massive environmental regulations. And I think we need a president, we need an administration that takes the burdens off farmers so that it is easier to do your job, which is incredibly important. Now, when it comes to labor, I understand the need to have labor and that it can be hard to have agricultural labor. You know, I'll tell you, though, one of the consequences of our immigration system right now, when we've got 12 million people who are here illegally, that has an effect of driving down wages for Americans across this country. There was a very interesting article, it was about, a month, maybe 6 weeks ago, in the Wall Street Journal. It was focusing on Arizona. You'll recall several years ago, Arizona put in place really tough laws on illegal immigration. And they were criticized loudly for putting those laws in place. And it was interesting, this Wall Street Journal article, because it talked about what happened in the wake of that law, which is a great many of the illegal immigrants left. They left the state and went elsewhere. And it actually quoted a farmer, and that's the reason I'm bringing up this example. It quoted a farmer, a fellow in Arizona, who was growing peppers. And he complained, he said, listen, all the people that we had picking peppers, they left. And he said, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know that we were going to be able to pick our peppers. And what it described that he did is he actually went and invented a new tool to help pick the peppers. And then he went down to the local community college and he ended up hiring Americans coming out of the community college. He had to pay them more. He paid them about $15 an hour. But he continues picking his peppers, except he's doing so in a situation where what has happened in Arizona, the public expenditures have plummeted. Arizona is spending hundreds of millions of dollars less on prisons, on education, on hospitals for those here illegally. That means that's hundreds of millions of dollars available to take care of U.S. citizens. And also unemployment has gone down, and median wages for Americans have gone up in the construction industry, in carpenters. We're seeing wages going up. And I think the view, our immigration laws should benefit American workers. That should be the focus of immigration laws. And so what I intend to do as president is, number one, we're going to secure the border. We're going to end illegal immigration. We know how to do it, and what's missing is the political will to get it done. The difference is I will get it done. But beyond that, when it comes to legal immigration, listen, I think on immigration the principles are really simple. Legal, good. Illegal, bad. It's amazing how many folks in politics, how many folks in the media have trouble understanding that. I'm reminded, you guys remember former Congressman Sonny Bono from, Sonny and Cher? Years ago, Sonny Bono was asked, what's your view on illegal immigration? He said, well, it's illegal, isn't it? We're going to solve this problem by securing the border and ending illegal immigration. And once we do that, that's going to drive up wages for Americans across this country. And in the agricultural world, I think the first option should be trying to find American workers. Now, that may mean wages come up. It may mean that we have to use more tools. We've seen in Arizona that's happened. And beyond that, our legal immigration system, if there are needs in the labor force and American workers not available to do it, that's where legal immigration should come in, but it should be in a situation where you're vetting the people rather than just having people come in that we don't know who they are, we don't know their criminal history, we don't know their background. It should be through the legal system, targeted in a way that protects American workers.